हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज का टॉपिक है प्लांट टिश्यू। वीडियो स्टार्ट करने से पहले चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दीजिए ताकि आगे आने वाले वीडियोस का नोटिफिकेशन आपको टाइमली मिल सके। तो वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। प्लांट टिश्यूज, मेरिस्टेमेटिक टिश्यू। द ग्रोथ ऑफ प्लांट्स occurs only in certain specific regions. This is because the dividing tissue, also known as meristematic tissue, is located only at these points. Depending on the region where they are present, meristematic tissues are classified as apical, lateral, and intercalary. New cells produced by meristem are initially like those of meristem itself, but as they grow and mature, their characteristics slowly change and they become differentiated as components of other tissues. Apical meristem is present at the growing tips of stems and roots and increase the length of the stem and the root. The girth of the stem or root increases due to lateral meristem. Intercalary meristem, seen in some plants, is located near the node. Cells of meristematic tissue are very active. They have dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose walls, and prominent nuclei. They lack vacuoles. Permanent tissue. What happens to the cells formed by meristematic tissue? They take up a specific role and lose the ability to divide. As a result, they form a permanent tissue. This process of taking up a permanent shape, size, and a function is called differentiation. Differentiation leads to the development of various types of permanent tissues. Simple permanent tissue. A few layers of cells beneath the epidermis are generally simple permanent tissue. Parenchyma is the most common simple permanent tissue. It consists of relatively unspecialized cells with thin cell walls. They are living cells. They are usually loosely arranged, thus, large spaces between cells are found in this tissue. This tissue generally stores food. In some situations, it contains chlorophyll and performs photosynthesis, and then it is called chlorenchyma. In aquatic plants, large air cavities are present in parenchyma to help them float. Such a parenchyma type is called erenchyma. The flexibility in plants is due to another permanent tissue, collenchyma. It allows bending of various parts of a plant like tendrils and stems of climbers without breaking. It also provides mechanical support. We can find this tissue in leaf stalks below the epidermis. The cells of this tissue are living, elongated, and irregularly thickened at the corners. There is very little intercellular space. Yet another type of permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is the tissue which makes the plant hard and stiff. We have seen the husk of a coconut. It is made of sclerenchymatous tissue. The cells of this tissue are dead. They are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. Often these walls are so thick that there is no intercellular space inside the cell. This tissue is present in stems around vascular bundles, in the veins of leaves, and in the hard covering of seeds and nuts. It provides strength to the plant parts. What you observe is the outermost layer of cell called epidermis. The epidermis is usually made of a single layer of cells. In some plants living in very dry habitats, the epidermis may be thicker since protection against water loss is critical. The entire surface of a plant has an outer covering epidermis. It protects all the parts of the plant. Epidermal cells on the aerial parts of the plant often secrete a waxy, water resistant layer on their outer surface. This aids in protection against loss of water, mechanical injury, and invasion by parasitic fungi. Since it has a protective role to play, cells of epidermal tissue form a continuous layer without intercellular spaces. Most epidermal cells are relatively flat. Often, their outer and side walls are thicker than the inner wall. We can observe small pores here and there in the epidermis of the leaf. These pores are called stomata. Stomata are enclosed by two kidney shaped cells called guard cells. They are necessary for exchanging gases with the atmosphere. Transpiration, that is, loss of water in the form of water vapor, also takes place through stomata. Epidermal cells of the roots, whose function is water absorption, commonly bear long hair like parts that generally increase the total absorptive surface area. In some plants, like desert plants, epidermis has a thick, waxy coating of cutin, a chemical substance with waterproof quality, on its outer surface. As plants grow older, the outer protective tissue undergoes certain changes. A strip of secondary meristem located in the cortex forms layers of cells which constitute the cork. Cells of cork are dead and compactly arranged without intercellular spaces. They also have a substance called suberin in their walls that makes them impervious to gases and water. Complex permanent tissue. The different types of tissues we have discussed until now are all made up of one type of cells which look like each other. Such tissues are called simple permanent tissue. Yet another type of permanent tissue is complex tissue. Complex tissues are made of more than one type of cells. All these cells coordinate to form a common function. Xylem and phloem are examples of such complex tissues. They are both conducting tissues and constitute a vascular bundle. Vascular tissue is a distinctive feature of the complex plants, one that has made possible their survival in the terrestrial environment. Xylem consists of tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fibers. Tracheids and vessels have thick walls, and many are dead cells when mature. Tracheids and vessels are tubular structures. This allows them to transport water and minerals vertically. The parenchyma stores food. Xylem fibers are mainly supportive in function. Phloem is made up of five types of cells, sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and the phloem parenchyma. Sieve tubes are tubular cells with perforated walls. Phloem transport food from leaves to other parts of the plant. Except phloem fibers, other phloem cells are living cells. आज का टॉपिक आई होप आपको वीडियो पसंद आई होगी प्लीज़ इसे लाइक एंड शेयर ज़रूर कीजिए थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग